Hello, everybody. My name is Ken Adams, and you have found Synergy Theater. Welcome to our Friday night presentation of My Dearest Love, an improvised series of dangerous letters. We are 33 minutes away from showtime. Our show tonight begins at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That's California time. So you are here and you are early. Welcome. We are going to be beginning our play tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. You are in the right place. You are doing the right thing. If you want to play along with us and offer us some suggestions tonight, then you got to watch us on YouTube and log into your YouTube account. That way you'll be able to interact with us via chat, and that's how we're going to be getting our suggestions. Welcome aboard, everybody. We are 33 minutes away from showtime. And hello, everybody. Welcome to Synergy Theater's YouTube channel. My name is Ken Adams, and I'm the artistic director of Synergy Theater. Synergy Theater is an improvisational theater company. We perform full-length plays in different styles and genres, all improvised and all based on audience suggestions. When we are performing in the real world, we are at the beautiful Dean Lesher for the Center, Dean Lesher Arts Center in beautiful Walnut Creek. And we are lucky enough to perform there in the middle of beautiful downtown Walnut Creek when we are in our homes because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Then we are very happy to bring our form of improvisational theater right to you, right into your home, over your device. So tonight's presentation is My Dearest Love, an improvised series of dangerous letters. Tonight's show is in the style of an 18th century melodramatic epistolary novel, and that means the action is going to unfold through a series of letters that the characters write one to the other. And as they are recounting what happened in those letters, actors will appear in order to take on the characters and improvise the action forward. Everything will be based on suggestions from you, the audience. So if you want to interact with us tonight and give us suggestions, you need to log into your YouTube channel, and that way you'll be able to use the interactive chat feature. If you don't want to do that and you just want to sit back and watch the show, that is just fine. You don't need to. You can enjoy the show sitting back on your couch, staring up at your 72-inch television screen, and enjoy the show that way. If you are watching this not now on June 19th at 6:30 in the evening, half hour away from showtime, then that means you're watching the recording at some point in the future. And that's awesome. We appreciate that too. But you don't have to sit here for 30 minutes watching me talk about the fact that the show is going to start in 30 minutes, because when you're watching this, we've already done the show. So all you need to do is jump to about 30 minutes into this recording, and that will take you right to the top of our show. But if you are not in the future, if you are here with me right now on June 19th, 2020 at 6:32 p.m. California time, then you just gotta wait around until it is showtime, and you can sit here with me and watch me read this letter. You know, it's actually an empty piece of paper. I am just pretending to read this letter. Ladies and gentlemen, Synergy Theater not only offers shows online, but we also offer classes. If you might be interested in taking a class with Synergy Theater, please go to our website at synergytheater.com and you can learn all about the classes. We are just 27 minutes away from showtime. Thank you for being here. I'll check back in with you in just a few moments. 7:00 p.m. Pacific time is when our show begins. If you want to go and get yourself a beverage or get yourself a little snack and get all cozy, ready to watch the show, now is the time to do that. Go ahead. I'll be here waiting for you. Well, hello, Valerie. It is nice that Synergy Theater superfan Valerie Jord is here in our audience tonight. It is very, very nice to see you. Thank you for being here. I'm reading a letter. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Synergy Theater. My name is Ken Adams. I'm the artistic director of Synergy Theater. And My Dearest Love, the show we're performing tonight, well, that's not our only show. As a matter of fact, we have different shows every weekend, every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time in California, and every Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time in California. We are back with a different online show. It has been really exciting, innovating new shows that are just perfectly designed to be performed in little boxes on your device screen. We have My Dearest Love tonight, coming up in our rotation. We have next week Grandma's birthday. The whole family gets together on Zoom to celebrate Grandma's birthday. What could possibly go wrong? We also are bringing back one of our favorites so far, The Mating Game. The Mating Game is a full-length improvised play in the style of a dating game show, similar to the dating game from the 1960s. However, this time it is not just a game. So come on back next week, Thursday at 4, Friday at 7, for 2 brand new improvised shows right here at Synergy Theater. Val George says she's looking forward to another great show. Well, thank you very much, Val George. We are looking forward to performing another great show for you. Yesterday, we performed the debut of Intergalactic Support Group. That was created for us by Griffin Davis Beer, who's one of our actors in the company, but now also one of our show creators and directors. And that was a fantastic show. If you would like to see any of our old shows, you can, right here on our YouTube channel. All of the shows that we have been performing this summer have been preserved for you online. Just go ahead, click, sit back, and watch it. Especially go back and watch The Mating Game and the Intergalactic Support Group. Those shows were really, really fun to see, fun to be in, the ones that I were in, and I think you'd like that a whole bunch. My Dearest Love was the first show that we ever produced online, so that one holds a special place in my heart, and I am so excited to be back here to do it again. And we have 5 other awesome performers from Synergy Theater who will be joining me in the show tonight. So you are in the right place and you are doing the right thing. We are just 22 minutes away from showtime. 22 minutes away, which just time enough for you to get online and tell all your friends about the show. Go on to our Facebook page, find the link to the show tonight, and blast it out on your social media. Get all your friends to watch. If you get 25 of your friends to watch the show tonight, I will be so proud of you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 22 minutes away from the start of My Dearest Love, Synergy Theater's improvised collection of dangerous letters. If you would like to interact with us tonight and afford us your generosity in the form of suggestions, then what you got to do is log on to your YouTube account, and that way you'll be able to use the chat feature and you'll be able to interact with us and give suggestions. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see you out there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now 21 minutes away from showtime. Go ahead and settle in. Go get a beverage. Go get a snack. We are almost ready to begin our show. 21 minutes from now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. You have found Synergy Theater's YouTube channel. My name is Ken Adams. I'm the artistic director of Synergy Theater, and I am so delighted that you are here with us today. Tonight's presentation of My Dearest Love, an improvised series of dangerous letters, will begin at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That means we are just 16 minutes away from showtime. So I am delighted that you are here. If you want to engage with us tonight and offer us suggestions, then you need to log into your YouTube channel. If you log into your YouTube channel, then you'll be able to interact via chat. And that's how we're going to be soliciting the suggestions that we base our show on tonight. If you don't want to do that, that's okay. You don't have to. You could just sit back and relax and watch us on your TV or your computer or any device you have there. And you will be thoroughly entertained, even if you're not giving us suggestions. If you want to, though, go ahead and log in. If you are watching this at some point in the future, if it is not currently June 19th, 2020 at 6:45, and you are watching the recording of our show, which has been saved on our YouTube channel, then you don't have to sit here and watch me pretend to read a letter for the next 15 minutes. All you have to do is jump ahead in the videotape to the 30-minute mark, and that will bring you right to the top of our show. Synergy Theater performs improvisational theater in a wide variety of styles and genres. When we are in the real world, we are performing at the Leisure Center for the Performing Arts in beautiful downtown Walnut Creek. We also teach classes in our teaching and rehearsal studio in Berkeley, California. If you're out there thinking, you know, improvisation seems like a lot of fun, well, it is. And if you're wondering, can I do that myself? Yes, you can. All you need to do is go on to synergytheater.com, synergytheater.com, synergytheater.com. Look at our classes. All of our classes are online now, and we would love you to join our thriving student community. We have level 1 through 4, we have master classes, and we have special events. Here's a fun special event to tell you about. On Monday, this coming Monday, the 22nd of June, Synergy Theater is teaming up with Freestyle Repertory Theater, an awesome improvisational theater company in New York City, and we are collaborating to bring you Right Away. Right Away is an improvisational writing show, and it's a combined show and writer's jam. So let me tell you how it works. It's a lot of fun. We have 4 very brave playwrights, and at the top of the event, these 4 playwrights get suggestions from the audience, and then they have exactly 45 minutes to go away and write a play. All during those 45 minutes, we are giving them suggestions that comes from you, the audience, that they need to incorporate directly into their writing. While they're away writing for 45 minutes, you and I are having a blast in our writer's jam, doing fun, spontaneous, creative writing exercises. We write, we read, we share, we laugh. It's awesome. Then after 45 minutes, the playwrights come back. We bring some actors on board, and we do instant presentations of the plays that those playwrights just wrote. We've done this a couple of times now, and it is always a ton of fun. I hope you'll be a part of it. Now, here's the thing. This doesn't happen on YouTube. No, everybody is in the Zoom room with us. That way you can participate in the jam section. So if you want to be a part of this, you have to register in advance. There's only room for 80 audience members and 80 participants in the room. So you have to go to synergytheater.com. You have to go to our online performance page, and then you have to scroll down all of the different shows we're doing until you find Right Away on June 22nd and click on Register Now. That will take you to the page where you can register and reserve your spot in this Monday's presentation of Right Away. It's a ton of fun, and I hope we will see you there. We have a whole lineup of new shows that we perform every Thursday at 4 o'clock Pacific time and every Friday at 7 o'clock Pacific time. Go to that same page, online performances on our website, and you will see all of the shows we're doing. I hope you'll make a habit out of spending Thursday and Friday with Synergy Theater. It is an awesome and beautiful day here in California. I hope it is awesome and beautiful where you are. You are in the right place. You are doing the right thing. And we are just 11 minutes away from showtime. 11 minutes away from showtime. Hello, everybody. Arastu Durakshan is out in the audience, and it is lovely to see you there, Arastu. Thank you for being here. Arastu, of course, is a foundational member of Synergy Theater. We couldn't do it without him. And look who's here. Valerie is here. Hello, Valerie. How are you?
Hi, Ken. I'm good. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. It's very nice to see you. I was just telling everybody that we're about to bring back the mating game next weekend. So yeah. I'm very excited about that.
Me too. I can't wait. I think it's such a fun show, and I think the audience is going to love it.
Well, Valerie, it's been about 6 minutes since I've explained the mating game to everybody. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the mating game, how you came up with the idea and how it works?
Great. The mating game is our remake of the classic game show, The Dating Game, from the 1960s. And I thought of it because I love the 1960s. And I just thought, what better way to fit this Zoom background than the mating game? Because we can't see each other and we're not supposed to be in the same room. That's what I think it fits this format very well. So the mating game is, we'll have some contestants looking for love and some lucky bachelors and bachelorettes who get to go on some dates. And we'll explore modern dating and relationships.
Excellent. I'm very, very excited to be in the show. I had a blast doing it the last time. And if anybody wants to check out the last one, if you weren't able to watch it when we actually did it, all of our shows that we've been performing for you this summer are on our YouTube channel. So you know about our YouTube channel because you are there right now. So all you have to do when you have some time is come back to this YouTube channel. You'll see all of the shows that we've been doing for you this summer are there. Go ahead and watch some of the shows. We would appreciate gathering lots of views as time goes on and as the word about our online shows spread. Thank you all very, very much for being here. Valerie, what do you do in order to prepare for an improvised theater show?
Well, I put a sign on my door that says, please do not ring the doorbell. And I put my dog in my room. He's barking right now. I don't know if you can hear him. Hopefully he will not do that during the show. But
well, they did in fact have dogs in the 1700s.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that will be okay if that's what happens.
Yeah, so then other than that, I do my makeup and do my hair, and I set up my stage behind me, and I have a nice light shining on my face right now. And I try to relax and drink a lot of water.
Excellent job. Well, I'm very glad you're here with us. Yeah. And in a few moments, we'll be bringing more of our actors out on screen as we get ready to perform this fantastic evening's performance of My Dearest Love, an improvised series of dangerous letters. We are just 7 minutes away from showtime, ladies and gentlemen. Just 7 minutes away from showtime. Synergy Theater performs full-length improvised plays in a wide variety of genres and formats. When we're in the real world, we are over at the Dean Lesher Center for the Performing Arts in Walnut Creek. When we are not in the real world, we are very, very delighted to be right here, coming into your living room on your TV, your phone, your computer, however it is you choose to watch us. If you would like to offer us your suggestions tonight, then what you got to do is log into your YouTube page. And by doing that, you'll be able to interact with us via chat. And that's how we are going to be soliciting suggestions from you tonight. I look over to the chat and I see we have several people out in the audience today that we know and love. Lynn Shields is there. Lynn Shields, of course, is a member of Synergy Theater, and she has conceived and is directing one of our upcoming shows, Spontaneous Soap Opera, a full-length improvised show in the style of a soap opera. I'm lucky enough to be appearing in that show, and it is a blast. Rehearsals have been so much fun, so I hope you'll come back and check out Spontaneous Soap Opera. That opens in a couple of weekends. We have a whole list of shows for you if you simply go online to synergytheater.com and check out our online performance page. You'll see them all there. Robin Fisher is out there and ready to be with us. And there's Robin Fisher right now. Robin, that background looks awesome. You look terrific.
Thank you. Thank you. I got lucky. I live in a very old house.
Well, it looks really, really wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Robin, what about you? Do you have any type of process you go through when you're preparing to improvise?
Oh, yes. So many things. One of my favorite things is take a long walk and just kind of get out and try to let everything else go. And then other times, if it's a period I don't know much about, reading about that or watching movies. I like that part. I like learning about different genres and different time periods that we do.
Yeah, I do too. That's one of the reasons I love doing genre work, is because it's always an opportunity to learn about a period in history and to get exposed to a bunch of books or movies or film or television shows, like in the case of the soap opera, or when we do spontaneous sitcom. There's just always something new to learn that you can bring into the stage. And it's a constant journey in exploring and discovering new things.
And it just enriches my understanding of other things so much. Lynn suggested watching the history of soap opera recently, which was this 2-hour special, and just finding out why they started soap operas, why they started losing favor. It was really interesting.
Well, can you share with us, why did they start?
Yeah, well, because men had athletics to watch. Women needed something to watch, and they wanted teams, and they wanted, their villains and their hometown characters and all of that sort of thing. And that's why it started. And so that was kind of, I'm sure, probably to market products as well. But it was, that was kind of interesting. And then to see how it went from soap operas to OJ, that whole situation caused reality TV to then burst onto the scene. And then in the end, now it's different networks on politics, 24/7 news. So, everybody's still watching their favorite team. It's very strange.
Well, that's so interesting that you trace it from sports to soap operas up to news, because that really is the skill of these 24-hour news stations, is having cliffhangers and teasers and something to always keep you coming back right after the commercial break, even when there really isn't any new news to report, but they're just about to repeat what they told you for the last 15 minutes, but they have a way of introducing just one new little tidbit that you feel you must come back for in order to find out about.
It's, I guess everybody loves story and they love their team.
That's absolutely right. Well, I am very, very glad that you are here with us tonight. I look forward to performing you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just 3 minutes away from the start of our show, 3 minutes away from the start of tonight's presentation of My Dearest Love, an improvised series of dangerous letters. Oh my goodness, now we are just 2 minutes away, 2 minutes away. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to mention that Synergy Theater is a nonprofit arts organization, and we rely very heavily on the generosity of our donors in order to keep going. And now more than ever, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, all of our outside activities have been closed down. That includes our live performances, our classes, and our youth outreach programs in which we go out into the community, into underserved areas to provide shows and classes and after-school drama workshops to children in schools. And without that revenue stream coming in, it is making life fairly challenging for all of the nonprofits in the country, in the world, and certainly for us as well. If you are of the means to make a small donation to Synergy Theater, we would appreciate that very, very much. Anything you can offer us would go a long way right now. If you would like to make a donation to Synergy Theater, all you need to do is go on to our website, www.synergytheater.com, synergytheater.com, and click on that Support Synergy Theater button, that big green button on the top right-hand side, and make a donation. We would appreciate it very much. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Any donation you make is completely tax deductible, and again, will be very, very appreciated and deeply meaningful. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just 1 minute away from the start of the show. 1 minute away from the start of My Dearest Love, an improvised series of dangerous letters. And that was a very fast minute because in fact it is 7 o'clock and that means it is time to start our show. Let's welcome the cast on board. Hello everybody. Welcome to My Dearest Love. We are very, very happy to have you here. And now the official beginning of the show. Hello everybody, my name is Ken Adams and I am the artistic director of Synergy Theater. Synergy Theater performs full-length improvised plays in a wide variety of styles and genres. When we are performing in the real world, we perform at the Lesher Center for the Performing Arts in beautiful downtown Walnut Creek. We have a teaching studio in Berkeley where we teach our classes. Now that we are all performing out of our homes, we are delighted to be coming to you over YouTube. We are performing tonight My Dearest Love, a series of improvised letters. We will be asking for suggestions from the audience. So if you would like to give us a suggestion, all you need to do is log on to your YouTube account and interact with us via chat. I can see from looking at the chat window that lots of you are out there already. We love that and appreciate that. And it is time to start getting some suggestions that we are going to use in our show tonight. So, My Dearest Love is an 18th century melodrama set in the United Kingdom in the 1700s, and it is in the style of an epistolary novel. The characters will be writing letters to each other, and the action will unfold through those letters. So, the first suggestion that we're all going to ask from you is if you would kindly give us names. We would like you to offer character names that we can use in the show. Now think Pride and Prejudice, think 1700s, think British royalty, and hopefully what we get from you is like a title and a first name, something like Duchess Mary or Mr. Charles, something like that. So go ahead and cast as soon as you see a name that strikes your fancy. Go ahead and call out loud that that's the name you're going to take, and then go ahead and take that name.
I will be Miss Mathimble.
I'll be Widow
Violet Chatterley.
I'll be Widow Temperance.
I'll be Lady Andy Tramp.
I will be Earl Grey.
Oh, there's so many good ones. I'll be Lady Euphemia. Or however you say that. Lady.
All right. So awesome. Thank you all very, very much.
Euphemia.
Mathimble.
Yeah, Miss Mathimble. I guess it's gone missing.
Excellent job. All right. Now, the next thing that we are going to ask from the audience is, who is going to write the first letter. So I am going to type into the chat window that question, who is going to write the first letter? And then who is going to write the first letter? And then the first name that pops up there, that is the name that will write the first letter. So let's keep our eye on the chat and see who it is. Somebody go ahead. It could be any one of us. Andy Trams. All right, Miss Mathimble, that is hard to say. Miss Mathimble will write the first letter. Excellent job. The second thing we need, all right, I see that somebody popped up there to write Lady Euphemia. So here is what we will do. We will have Miss Mathimble write the first letter to Lady Euphemia. Miss Mathimble will write the first letter to Lady Euphemia. Excellent job. All right, now, during the course of the play, you might have an idea about what's going to happen next. That would be awesome. If you have that idea, just go ahead and write it in the chat. And a number of ideas about what might happen next will float up there. And we will from time to time check out what's happening over there and take some of your suggestions. We won't be able to take them all, but we will certainly take as many as we can and use those suggestions to continue our play. All right, my friendly cast, are we ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, in that case, I'm going to ask our actors to go to places. I am going to disappear for one moment, and when I come back, we will present to you my dearest love. My dear reader, the various letters that are herewithin contained were never intended for public consumption. They are private letters, written most frequently in the heat of passion and containing secrets, feelings, and confessions that the letter writer would more happily die than ever willingly have exposed to the judgmental glare of public scrutiny. However, now that all of the letter writers are dead, in prison, or hopelessly insane, all the letter writers, that is, except me, I have no compunction whatsoever in gathering the lot of them, assembling them here in their sequence of events, and presenting them to you, my discerning readership. The events that are herein chronicled took place between November 2nd and March 3rd, straddling the years of our Lord 1748 and 1749. It has taken me years to gather these letters through blackmail, bribery, barbarism, and downright theft from the hands of the individuals into which they had fallen. I have changed no names. I have blunted no edges. I only ask that as you read the lives of these poor souls laid bare, you do so and judge them by the honest yardstick of the deepest and most shameful secrets that you yourself possess. My dear readers, I give you now my dearest love, a series of dangerous letters.
A letter to Lady Euphemia. Dear Lady Euphemia, it is I, your humble servant, Miss Mathimble. I have been at my post now to observe your daughter, Miss Temperance, for over a year. You told me that I should write you if any events transpire which you might be interested in. Well, do I have a story for you. As I was working the other day, I entered the drawing room. Sorry, it's not my drawing room. I know that. You told me many times it's not mine. I know. But I entered the drawing room for which I work. And there she was, your daughter, Lady Temperance. She seemed not to be thinking of anything. She was sipping her tea nonchalantly, when suddenly there was a thump in the other room. We ran over, and who was there but her husband? Her husband was dead on the floor. She cried out so loudly, I came to give her my condolences. Oh, Miss Temperance, my dear, how did this happen?
I don't know. We ran in here together. I don't know why he's dead. Quick, let's investigate his body.
Oh, yes, that's right. Okay. And we investigated his body. You check under his shirt. Actually, I'll check under his shirt. You check under his pants.
Okay.
I found a locket. It's a picture, a drawing, but it's not of you.
No, who is that woman?
I know who it is. It is Violet Chatterley.
Not my pleasant neighbor that lives down the way, that has the most beautiful violets in her garden.
Yes, she does have the most beautiful violets. This is so bizarre. It must be a mistake, my lady. Of course, your husband is not in love with Violet Chatterley. But that is interesting. Oh, my dear, I am so sorry. Now you are a widow. And
whatever happened to my husband? How did he die? And why does he have Violet Chatterley's picture in his locket? You must help me find out, miss.
Of course, I will write your mother immediately and tell her of this, and we will investigate. So, you see, Lady Euphemia, it is with this awful news that I write you. Your daughter is now a widow, and we must find who killed her husband. Your humble servant, Miss Mathimble.
Dear. Lady Euphemia, to Lady Andy Trump. My dear friend, I write to you today as it appears that there may be snow coming someday soon, but nonetheless, my heart is frozen with terrible thoughts of something that has happened to my daughter. And I ask for your help, as you helped the last time one of her husbands deceased unexpectedly and without cause. You were able to find so quickly the reason that he would die such a horrible death. You see, her husband had a locket inside of his chest. And you see, I believe she had something to do with this. So I ask your help, Lady Anne, to discover who possibly could be at the bottom of this. I have included a sketch based roughly upon the description given to me by the letter from my assistant of the person in the locket. As you can see, it is somebody that you may know. If you recognize this face, and I ask only that, then I ask your help. Please, Lady Euphemia, your dearest friend.
Lady Anne de Trump to Violet Chatterley. My dear friend Violet, it has been too long since we have had lunch together. I wonder, my dear, how are you these days? Have you been able to bring yourself up in society? And have you found a gentleman? For it is very strange. The other day I overheard Earl Grey mention something. Well, he said this, my darling.
Ah, how I love, love, love Violet Chatterley, and how confident I am that I shall not soon be gruesomely murdered.
So you see, dear, it brings to mind the question if you are in love with Earl Grey or someone else. For I also heard a rumor that you might have been in love with Mr. Temperance. Please let me know as soon as possible. Very truly yours, Lady Anne de Trump.
Oh, from Violet Chatterley to Miss Mathimble. You bloody idiot. How dare you? I have heard comings and goings these last days, and I have heard that you were the one to discover my love's body. You, who I had given my word would be my ward and my heir. Yes, as you know, I am heiress to the Lipton tea fortune. And you, I was going to name you my heir. However, you have betrayed me. I don't know why I'm going to do this, but I wish to recount to you that moment 2 weeks ago when I first discovered Earl's love for me. I was walking in my garden. He had taken a stroll down the lane and happened upon me playing with my violets.
My goodness, my lady.
Oh, dear sir, thank you for your neighborly greetings.
Neighborly greetings be damned. I have taken a passionate love for you, my lady.
Oh, at this moment, Miss Mathimble, again, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I started to quiver in the knees. My lips started to quiver as well. My heart started to palpitate, for you see, it had been 6 years since a man had just said such wonderful things to me. In that moment, I grabbed my handkerchief and stroked it against my cheek, and he said,
Lady Chatterley, I know you know I am a married man, but do listen. My married life is like fetid vegetables that rot in a barren field. And when I look at you, it is as if my heart fills with fresh manure, out of which all manner of blossoms may spring.
oh, Miss Mathimble, I couldn't hold myself back. And so I declared to him my fervent passion and love, Earl Grey. You know not this, but for some time now, I have been bewitched by your visage. Yes, If I could spend the rest of my life staring at your face, I would die a happy woman. And then he said,
and yet my heart is like a rope that children play the game of tug of war with. For you must know, my wife, termagant that she is, shrew that she be, she is ill. She has only months or perhaps a year at most to live. How could I desert her? How could I leave her when she is so frail?
Miss Methimble, I didn't have an answer to this. The only thing I could think of is asking the Earl whether or not he had a twin brother. For you see, I had heard some time past that the Earl Grey had an identical twin. He responded,
A twin. Yes, yes, I have a twin. His name is Earl White. And Earl White is an evil, bad-hearted man who I shun from my very sphere of society. Why do you mention him? Why?
he didn't know, Miss Methimble. He didn't know that I had a passion for evil men. And so in that moment, I knew the deed needed to be done. I wanted to spend the rest of my life with his twin brother. And so I gave the Earl Grey an opportunity to bend over and grab my handkerchief. And when he did,
Your handkerchief, my lady, do allow me.
and when he did, I noticed just then as his pants fell down, there was a weak spot in his left buttock, which I knew would be his downfall.
How embarrassing, my pants fell down.
Yes. And so, Miss Methimble, he gave me back my handkerchief and he promised this.
My lady, I promise that though I feel bound to care for my wife until she shuffles off this mortal coil, I shall keep my love for you alive. May I please have that locket you wear around your neck with your miniature in it, so that I may keep it near me until one day I shall replace this locket for your warm flesh.
And I kissed it and I gave it to him and he walked away. And so you see, Miss Methimble, yes, the Earl Grey is gone, as I predicted he would be. And I now await the arrival of his evil twin. Yes, what do you have to say to that? His wife, a widow, dying soon herself anyway, and the twin with the identical face comes toward me. Ha 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 ha, you idiot. You will be banished. You are nothing to me anymore. This is my final letter to you. Goodbye.
Letter to Lady Euphemia. My dear Lady Euphemia, my goodness, it has been a week since I last wrote you, and oh, how much has happened. After the body of your daughter's husband was found, I did some investigating, and I believe the murderer to be Lady Violet Chatterley. Although I have no proof that she is the murderer, I did witness something which made me believe she must have been so. Plus, she is evil. She just has that evilness about her. I don't like her. So I went to her house at once to confront her. She said she would never write to me again, but I would demand to see her face. And as I entered, who else was there but Lady Anne de Tramp? Miss Chatterley, you murdered that man, didn't you?
Silly girl.
You murdered him so that you could be with his twin brother.
Now, why would I need to murder him in order to be with his twin brother unless... Well, never mind that. That's between Lady Andy Tramp and me.
Fine, then I will leave. Except I only pretended to leave. As I exited her door, I threw myself into the bushes and waited.
Lady Andy Tramp, you
Yes.
must know, you are my only confidant these days. You must know that the Earl White is the true heir to the Tetley fortune.
Yes, so he is the true heir. I know this. Why is this important?
It is important because without Earl Grey out of the way, he would not have been.
She said,
You see, Earl White is Earl Grey's younger brother. And now with the Earl Grey out of the way, and well, with the widow Temperance dying, I will join my tea fortune with the Tetley tea.
she said evilly.
This seems to work out nicely for you as long as you aren't pinned as a murderess.
There's nothing to suggest that I was the one who did it. I simply knew that it would be his downfall.
Oh, it's just a matter of the locket, my dear. You did hear. The body had the locket with your face.
She said.
Well, of course, I gave it to him so that he may remember me.
She said as she realized
People will simply think that we were having an affair.
And this exonerates you how, my darling? I think it points the finger directly at you.
How dare you? I
she
refuse to even talk to you any further about this.
and she slammed the door in her face. It left me in an awkward position because I was still hiding in the bush when she left. So I ran to tell your daughter. As I got in my drawing room, sorry, I don't mean my drawing room, I mean her drawing room. As I got to her drawing room, your daughter, widow Temperance now, was there, but she seemed to be in quite a good mood. Miss Temperance, Widow Temperance, you seem so happy.
Oh, well, I guess I am feeling better. I'm still very sad that my husband, Earl Grey, is dead, but I don't know. I woke up, a couple weeks ago, and I felt a lightness. I feel like my illness is passing and I have new life again.
She said. I was
Sad? Are you sad?
Oh my goodness! It was the exact replica of her husband. I was shocked. Was he alive? Oh.
No, he's not alive. He's dead. But I'm alive. Earl White, his brother.
I know you. You're the evil twin that Earl Grey had ran from his entire childhood. What are you doing here?
She asked.
Earl Grey was my brother. Who killed my brother? Was it you, my sweetie? Well, I can kill people too. And what do you know of this?
I know. I believe it was Miss Chatterley.
No,
The wench.
no, it was me. I killed Earl Grey. I did it. And I'm happy.
I was astounded. I asked her how. How did you kill him?
Well, as many people know, he has a weak point in his buttocks. So all I had to do was make sure that all of the furniture was arranged so if he were to bend over, his buttocks would get poked and he would have a spasm and die. And that is what happened the day he died. I placed an interesting coin on the floor, as he is a collector, and I arranged the armchair right behind him, and I knew, when I heard that thud, that I was successful. And I'm happy. The illness was his. It wasn't me. He was the illness.
My goodness. Widow Temperance, I had no idea. I thought I was the one who killed him.
Why would you? I confessed killing him.
Why?
I must confess, I set up the exact same trap because I too knew of his weakness in his buttocks. And so did Violet Chatterley, and she confessed the whole thing herself. It seems that all three of us wished for him to be dead.
But I don't understand. Why? Why would any of you wish him dead? He was the good one. At least that's what Mother always said.
Good one. I found out long before that it wasn't just Violet Chatterley that he had a recent infatuation with. He always had infatuations with other women, and he always told them I was dying. Well, as I have...
Yeah, you're right. I did have an affair with him. I couldn't control myself. It was those amazing locks of hair leaving from his face so curly and violently in every direction. I was in love. I'm so sorry, my Widow Temperance. He is just the sexiest man that ever did live.
Okay, well, then you will die.
Wait a
And
minute,
then I
please.
screamed.
Please, Miss Thimble, would it be possible for you to afford a moment of privacy between my brother's widow and myself?
So I did. I left the room. But I listened behind a door, as you always taught me to do.
My dear widow,
He said.
I know from my brother's letters to my mother, which she showed to me, that you are in fact stricken ill with a terminal disease.
He asked.
Yes, but it wasn't. Yes.
She responded.
I must confess, my lady, that never having met you and only having heard of you through the letters that my brother wrote my mother and my mother sent to me, I have fallen quite in love with you.
He said. She looked very flattered.
Well, no one has ever genuinely fallen in love with me before. As you know, it was an arranged marriage between me and your brother. That's very kind of you to say. I don't know what to say to that. But you do not seem as evil as Gray had painted you to be.
She said.
My dear lady, can't you believe that what the world understands to be true and what is really the truth are often miles and miles apart? For it is not I who stole all of Father's money and killed 3 of our relatives. The horrible rumor which had surrounded me and forced me to flee for my life, that was my brother. He who pretended to be innocent threw the blame on me, but in fact, he was the villain. I, the poor innocent. I swear, look into my eyes and tell me if you see deception.
She appeared not to see any deception.
I do not see a mark of it. You have a good soul.
My dear widow, I know that you have only months left upon this earth, but I would be honored if you would spend those months as my partner.
He asked.
To be with someone that truly loves me? Of course I will. But what will we do about everybody else?
She asked.
Surely there has been enough death enough mischief. I must confess that I spent some time with Lady Chatterley before arriving here and led her to believe that I had feelings for her, but only so as to gain her confidence to see what I can learn about the death of my brother. I know that if we simply reason with her, all those who wish us ill shall take a retirement and allow our love to blossom.
He said seductively.
I love your beautiful words, but I am torn. I still feel that those people need to be punished. Violet Chatterley, Miss Mathimble. I will have to guard my heart against them if I were to truly love you, but I feel that they must be punished.
Widow Temperance, you have so won my affection that although I have been good up until now, I shall do whatever you bid me do. If you want pain, torture, even death to fall upon those women, simply say so, and my hand shall turn from angel to demon.
And ruin your true nature?
She
You
said,
would do that for me?
My true nature is not without you.
Then kill them. Kill them both.
she said seductively.
To be very clear, my dear, who are we killing?
Miss Mathimble and Violet Chatterley.
I was so shocked that I dropped my tea and scurried up the stairs to pack up my things, since I knew they were to kill me. So I did not find any more of their conversation. So this, Lady Euphemia, is my farewell letter to you. I am going into hiding so that they do not kill me. And I'm so sorry that I slept with her husband, but can you blame me? That hair. Your no longer humble servant, Miss Mathimble.
Lady Euphemia, to my dearest daughter, my dear daughter, Tempe, I write to you using my bound feet as my writing instruments. As you may not know yet, but your supposed beloved Earl White has kidnapped me, and I am in his cellar at this moment, bound and tied, and it was with my feet that I write this letter, using a piece of charred wood that I found upon the floor next to me, where there were also bones recently gnawed. I know not if they are human or canine, but it does appear to be a femur. My dear daughter, I fear for your safety. I believe this Earl White, as he calls himself, is playing with your heart. I do not believe that he is the good one, as he may have told you. And while I do believe that my assistant had something to do with this as well, I do believe that it is Lady Anditramp who may be in conspiracy with him. I ask you to please find it in your heart not to be betrayed again by another Earl. And as you have lost a husband before, this last one wasn't the first, I want you to know that it is not your fault, my dear. You did not kill him. And this illness that you have been befallen with is simply, in my opinion, the guilt of the heart of a pure soul who has done nothing wrong but tried to love. So, my dear daughter, I beg you to do what is in your power to save your dear mother. Save your soul. This Earl White, I do pray, has not made his way into your heart, or dare say I made you pregnant. Oh, I write to you as your mother, who may not have many days left in the darkened cellar, somewhere east of where I was before. And please come hastily, my dear, for I am hungry and thirsty. Your mother.
Widow Temperance to Miss Mathimble. I write this letter weeks and weeks after the great tempestuous moments that you know have happened, and from far, far away of safety. First off, before I disclose the events of which have happened, I must say that I do apologize for setting Earl White to kill you. I know that in all the scheme of things, your only part in this was simply having an affair with Earl Grey, who, as we all know, was not the perfect person that he had claimed to be. Neither of the Earl brothers were. Were is the key word here, my dear. So please, before I continue, I ask that you forgive me for me trying to have murdered you. You were simply just a pawn in the game. I had received a letter from my mother that she was imprisoned, and using the hounds to sniff at the letter, the hounds of my house led me to Lady Anne de Tramp's house. When I approached, I could hear the plaintive calls of my mother in the distance.
Oh, no, no.
And I decided not to play coy, and I kicked through the door like I've read in romance novels, and there was Lady Anne with Earl White, and they were surreptitiously in each other's faces. I think that they were kissing, and I proclaimed, "Let go of my mother, both of you fools! Neither one of you are who you pretend to be." And they said, shockingly,
Finally, you've come to see reality, my darling.
Yes, that's right. The veil has been lifted from your eyes.
Earl White sneered like a simpering snake. I then saw in him for the first time his true evil. I told him, "You had lied to me from the beginning. You were truly the bad brother, and you took the opportunity of natural man's folly of my husband to paint him in a bad light, just to take advantage of me. You will pay for this, Earl White."
Weren't you happy when he died? Weren't you feeling better, my dear?
Lady Anne coyly, snidely said, and I do admit that she did make me catch a breath. Yes, I admit that I was, but you know what? I am not the bad person here. Miss Mathimble is not the bad person here. You two are, for I know that you have plotted and schemed to destroy my family, and then Earl White divulged all.
Yes, yes, it's true. But you don't know why we have planned and plotted so effectively, do you? Allow me to tell you. You believe that your grandfather was a saintly man, a man of the cloth who could do no wrong. But know you this, your grandfather was the devil himself. And your grandfather killed our grandfather. Yes, that's right. Lady Anne de Tramp and I share a grandfather through a series of births and adoptions that are far too complicated to recount now. But know this, your ancestor destroyed the pillar of our family, bringing us into depths of despair never before known to humanity, and the two of us crawling up from the pit of hell that your family has cast us in, vowed our vengeance.
And now we will cast you into the dungeon with your mother. And quickly we will also round up Violet and her other cohort, Miss Mathimbo.
You see, it wasn't any of you ladies who killed Earl Grey. It was I who killed Earl Grey, making you all think you did it because Earl Grey had refused to work with Lady Anne and I on the vengeance that we so richly deserve.
He said as he wiped his nose because telling such a tale made him snotty. They stared at me cackling like two cackling crows on top of carrion in the road. They cackled back and forth. Suddenly, I had fire within me, and I brandished my knife, and I said, if you have proven anything through your confession, it's the true goodness of my husband. The fact that you and your family would endeavor to kill someone who's not even connected to what happened to you long ago speaks to your pettiness. And without even thinking, I reached out and stabbed Lady Anne right in the heart and drove it home. She screamed. These were her last words. She said, as she died,
Don't forget the fortune, Earl.
the fortune. And at that moment, Lady Violet ran in with a knife wielded against Earl White. She had been listening and heard the entire thing. And she said this as she plunged the dagger in Earl White's heart.
You fool. It was Widow Temperance I wanted all along, and now she has the fortune.
Please stay your hand.
It's already in your guts.
She said as she twisted and turned the knife until the blood turned from red to black. And Earl White said this final thing as his blood intermingled with the waste in his bowels.
That really hurt.
At that moment, Lady Violet looked at me, and I thought that I had a companion, but she said this instead.
Widow Temperance. Yes, I do want to be your companion. I want to join our tea fortunes. What do you say?
I say, that is a wonderful idea, for I am sick of passing around fortunes through men. Let us do it. And we shook hands. And we went downstairs in the cellar and we rescued our mother. After drawing out all of our fortunes, we absconded to a location in France, and we have started our own settlement here. I would wish for you to come and join us at your own convenience, but I must say, you do not have to. I'm sending a small fortune to help with my apology. I'm sorry you got caught up in this and that. I almost continued the angry, petty vengeance that my husband's brother tried to commit on me. Us women must be companions and champions for each other. So,
Widow Temperance.
yes, sorry, I'm being interrupted in my study by Violet. As we speak, she explains what's happening.
Widow Temperance, I have been working day and night to cure you of your ill. You see, the reason I wanted to join our fortunes is because I believe our two teas are the cure to consumption, which is what you have. So I have joined the two. Please take this concoction, our two teas joined.
Oh, And my dear Miss Mathimble, as soon as the concoction of the 2 T's hit the back of my throat, I felt the healing power of herbs course through my body. I was no longer tired. My spirits had lifted, and I stopped coughing blood. Oh, Violet, you have saved me. We shall live long and happy. And we shall sell this tea to others. We shall call it traditional medicinals. And we will make sure that other people will not die of consumption.
I will return to the lab at once, and Widow Temperance, I await your return later.
Goodbye, friend. And with that, Miss Mathimble, I've also enclosed the life-saving tea. I do hope that you are well, and I will always hold you dearest in my heart. And there is a place for you here if you do ever decide to come. For all who are welcomed here, and we forgive the past. Yours, Widow Temperance.
Lady Euphemia, a letter. My dear Lady Euphemia, as you know, your daughter is now happily alive in France with her dear companion, Violet Chatterley. Who could have guessed all those wild turns that eventually have led to now the house no longer being occupied by any occupants other than myself? So now I write to you, my dear Lady Euphemia, from my drawing room. I hope you are well. Yours truly, Miss Mathimble.
And thus comes to a close this exciting episode and collection of My Dearest Love, a series of dangerous letters. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's bring our cast back out on stage. And on the count of 3, let's take a great big bow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. My friends, thank you so much for being out there and watching our show. Synergy Theater is here every week, Thursdays at 4 o'clock and Fridays at 7 o'clock. Please come back and watch. Next week, we're debuting a brand new show called Grandma's Birthday, which is set in the present day, and everybody's getting together on Zoom in order to celebrate Grandma's birthday. What could possibly go wrong? It's an improvised family dramedy. Come on back next week, Thursday at 4 o'clock, and check out our show. Friday at 7 next week, it's The Mating Game, the game show that is not a game at all. That's one of our new fan favorites. So come on back and check out The Mating Game. Allow me to take one more opportunity to mention that Synergy Theater is a nonprofit arts organization. Like nonprofit arts organizations all over the world, we have been seriously impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, and we are very, very much dependent on the generosity of you, our patrons, to help get us through this challenging time. If you are able to make even a tiny donation, $5, $10, anything that is comfortable for you, we would appreciate it very, very much. Please go to synergytheater.com and click on that green Support Synergy Theater button, and anything you could do would go very, very far and be very, very meaningful. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Stay safe, wear a mask when you go outside, and be well. Synergy Theater loves you. Bye-bye.